All right. Hi, guys. Sorry, I'm 8 days into the month and I'm just now posting this setup video for my September journal, but better late than never. Um, Also, apologies for the weird blur in the bottom right corner. I didn't realize my tripod was in the frame. And then the third little caveat, I apologize in advance if this voiceover is super chaotic. I'm dog sitting this weekend and these dogs are nuts. So hopefully I can get through this uninterrupted, but we'll see. So I've posted a few videos here and there about setting up this spread, and I have a couple videos showing specifically like the Dutch doors that I just flipped through. So if you're interested in seeing that process, those videos are on my YouTube as well as my Instagram. But this video is just focused on everything after that. So typically in my journal, this is my second month doing it, so I'm by no means an expert, but typically in my journal, I have like a monthly overview, a highlights page, a favorites page, which includes TVs and movies and or TV and movies, and like the music I'm listening to, and then an order tracker. And this month I did something new and added a habit tracker, and then just a few pages in the back to journal in if I feel so inclined. So that's what you'll see me set up for this spread. Right now I'm working on the this month page, so the overview of the month, and I'm using a bunch of stickers from my shop, Paper Trail Plans. This journaling collection is our September collection, and it matches the pumpkin kit that we released a few weeks ago. And this washi paper that you see me tearing up a bunch is from that collection as well. Let me know how y'all are liking these patterned washi sheets that coordinate with the kits we released, because I really enjoy making them, and I think they're really fun to pull into spreads. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to see more of that. Um, I guess I'll also use this video to kind of like gauge interest, because we all know like our bread and butter is like memory planning. Like um, our shop Paper Trail Plans started with like scripts and decorative weekly kits, and stuff that's very specific for like memory spreads. But as you can see, we're starting to get more into like journaling stickers. And I'm personally like finding a lot more joy in doing these types of spreads than I am in doing weekly spreads. Not to say that I don't enjoy doing weekly spreads, because I definitely do, but there's something more exciting about this kind of spread. Oh, now I'll pause and say this is me picking out my mild liners for this month. So I'm doing a bunch of swatches to see which colors go best with um, the colors of the deco kit or journaling collection, whatever you want to call it. Um, so I just pulled out the ones that felt like they would work best, and then I picked the three from that, the brown, the green, and the orange. Uh, and then I thought maybe I could pull in a blue or like teal color. The last one I swatched was the closest, but it was still a little too blue for my taste. Because we did include like a dusky sea green kind of color in this collection. So I wanted to try and pull that in, but I just don't have the right mild liner for it, and that's okay. Um, so yeah, back to what I was saying. Like, my mom and I both have been journaling a lot more than we used to, and creating more like free form spreads. My mom's been doing a lot in her like Hobonichi um, cousin, and I've been doing a lot more in my A5. Uh, and I'm still months behind in my memory spreads in my A5 wide, so I'm slowly chipping away at those spreads, but doing these kind of like journaling heavy spreads with more freeform decorating has just been bringing me a lot more joy in my creative pursuits. So I'm just curious. I want to like gauge how we're all feeling about that kind of vibe. Obviously, like I still wanted memory spread, and I have a bunch of weekly kits, so I don't want to like give it up altogether. But I'm just like less drawn to that than I used to be. That's where I'm finding myself at least. But I'm curious to know how y'all are feeling. I know I'm not the only one super behind in my planner, but it's just a struggle to decide, we call it the elusive like planner piece, which I don't think I'll ever achieve, but um, just struggling to figure out how I want to like keep stickers in my life going forward. Because obviously I'm not letting go of that, but um, I also don't want to hold on to something that doesn't bring me as much joy anymore. And I know Tay of Shantae Plans has talked about this a lot because she's been on her own planner journey. Like this year, she moved into a B6 because she wanted to like scale down her spreads, and then ended up deciding that a bullet journal was maybe better for her than even B6 spreads because that's what brought her more joy. Um, so I know I'm not the only one like considering what planner piece looks like for me. Um, I also recently talked to Jenny and her plans about her A5 size because I know she scaled down to an A5 from an A5 wide this year. And I was just curious how she's liking this scale. Oh, back to what's on the screen. I got the idea after doing all these highlighted lines that it could be cool to try and create a plaid of my own with the mild liners. Um, and it does look really cool, but I decided it would be way too much on this sheet since there's already the washi paper plaid. So I will pull that in on one of the following pages with my habit trackers, but I decided to pass on that idea for this page. Now I'm laying down all the date numbers. It's tricky because you go through a lot of date numbers doing this, but I like having like a full line of them. I also realized I didn't space out the um, numbers correctly because I forgot there's 30 days in September and not 31. And I also didn't really like how offset all the numbers were. Like going forward, I'll probably prioritize making them all in a straight line just because it feels a little scatty-wampus all over the place like that. But yeah, just things I'm learning as I go. Um, yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about. uh, I'll just talk about what I'm doing on the screen for a second until I remember. Or if I don't, that's okay. Again, I'm a goldfish. Um, I finished up the monthly overview and put down scripts for my birthday and Labor Day because those are the main holidays this month. Well, my birthday's, I don't know if I'd consider that a holiday, but it's a special date for me. Um, and then now I'm moving on to the highlights side. A couple of people have asked, we will be bringing the highlights as like a full script to the shop soon. Um, because currently we have like journaling scripts, as you've seen me lay down like this month, gratitude, playlist, movies and TV, etc. But I'm finding that highlights kind of captures what I want this page to focus on more than gratitude does. So I used the paper trail plans individual letters um, and just, oh yeah, you see me try to go for gratitude, but then I realize habit or highlights makes more sense here. I lost the footage of me laying that down, but it's pretty boring anyway. So yeah. Um, but yeah, we will be bringing like a pre-made highlights script to the shop very soon. So also let me know in the comments if you have any other suggestions for journaling labels because our next release is probably going to be pretty like functional heavy. So if you have any that like you would like to have a label for that you don't like writing every month in this large scale, let me know and we will try and make your sticker dreams come true. Um, I skipped this part because it was kind of torturous to watch, but I laid down all of these academic numbers because I didn't have a full set of the italic ones like I used on the left. Preferably, I would have matched all of them, but it's fine. But that sheet was an oops sheet from our shop, so they were all deeply cut, and it was a bit of a pain in the ass to pull them all up. But yeah, here's the overview of the highlights page and the this month page. I really like how they turned out. I forgot to mention I did pull in some of the Pretty Pink Co. Foiled leaves and the non-foiled versions throughout this whole spread. You'll see them kind of sprinkled in. I kind of struggle to stay consistent when I'm doing spreads like this because each page has so much going on. So I try and go back and like make them feel a little more consistent, but I did forget to put them on a few pages. Oh well. Right now, I'm laying down some alcohol ink. We have these overlays with like vintage text on them that are designed to fit like directly on top of our pre-existing alcohol ink swatches. Um, I'm still not sure how I feel about these because I like the idea in theory, but it's limiting a bit because you have to, well, at least for me, I have to have the text straight in my brain. That's just the only way it makes sense to lay it down. So you have to commit to putting the alcohol ink swatch in that specific orientation for the text to be straight. But again, that's just a me thing. I don't know if anybody else cares about that. Um, but it worked here because I liked the orientation it was in. It filled the space nicely. But yeah, that's just a me thing. I'm putting down this doily to kind of break up the foil because I don't love layering foil on top of other foil. So the doily was nice to just kind of like put a layer between those two. Quick um, close up of movies and TV. um, yeah, and now I am spreading that. Um, sorry, brain fart. Spreading that plaid to the other side. Um, I at first I was a little like not OCD. That's not the right word, but I was trying to line up the plaid so that it like felt like it was one big sticker, but then I quickly realized that was impossible, so I just moved on with my life. Um, yeah, so now I'm putting this alcohol ink down. Um, in hindsight, I wish I had put it on the other side of the page because there's a lot of the vintage text on the one side, but then none on the other, as you'll see. And that's okay, but just, things to learn for next time. Um, one thing I'll say about this paper, um, this is a Lilo Journals A5 Rose Bell bullet journal. It's really high quality paper, but specifically with transparent matte paper, it's really hard to like pull up without tearing the page. So I, going forward, should probably plan out more where my alcohol ink is going to go before I just commit to putting it down because I've gotten spoiled by Sadie Sticker's unicorn paper for my memory spreads, and so even if I don't like where an alcohol ink swatch is, it's not too hard to move it, but it is a little more difficult on this paper. Right now I'm using another tree line scene from, I believe, the journaling kit, but we also have like a large tree line scene sheet from this release. But I wanted to elongate the pre-existing tree line area, so I think it blended pretty nicely. And then I end up putting a box like kind of over that seam, which helps cover it up. But yeah, I'm enjoying trying to figure out how to like create these backdrops for the labels because that's really where most of the decoration goes. Um, like I have to have a bunch of empty space on the page, obviously, to actually write in what I want to track and focus on for the month. But the areas where the labels go is where I actually get to play and be creative. So yeah, I'm having fun with that. I enjoy using the boxes from our journaling collection. Um, I do think I want to like change up some of the sizes, or not sizes, but like shapes, because I find that I am drawn to the like longer, skinnier ones, kind of like an oversized third box, if that makes sense. Or not third box, like midi box, whatever. Um, Instead of like the square ones, because they're easier to fill space with. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just the stuff I think about when I'm looking at boxes. I talked about this on one of the videos I posted about this spread, but I feel like these leaves are like the scale of them is great. I really like the impact they have. But I shouldn't have put down that leaf pile because it just doesn't make sense to have that giant leaf falling into the tiny leaf pile. But that's okay. Again, scale is subjective with stickers, so I should just chill on myself. But yeah, at this point, I'm getting better at spacing out the highlighters more like naturally. At first, I was really nervous to do that because I didn't want to mess it up and then get the spacing wrong or mix up the colors. But I think at this point, on my like third or fourth page, I feel like a pro. But yeah, I enjoyed doing this highlighter because it kind of like it feels like it completes the spread somehow. And I also like that I ended up using three colors because with two colors, I feel like it would have just felt a little more bold on the page. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I also alternated the green with the other two colors because I wanted green to be more of the forefront color since there's so many oranges and reds like in the stickers themselves. So that was my intention behind that. I cut out a lot of the brain power shown creating this page because it was just tedious deciding where to lay down or draw out the habit tracker boxes. First, I had to decide how many habits I wanted to track. You see me mess up there, but I cover that with a sticker. Uh, I wanted to track a few things this month and try and hold myself more accountable for staying consistent with them. Um, So I picked five that I wanted to focus on, and then I had to decide how to lay them out so they were kind of evenly spaced and then not just like feel so cookie cutter on the page, if that makes sense. So I like how it turned out, but uh, I think I'll only get better at doing this going forward. I wanted to keep the spacing even, which I did accomplish, but it feels kind of like boxy. I don't know if that's just me because I've been looking at it for a long time now. But now I'm going in with the DIY plaid method with my mild liners. I really like how this turned out. I don't know that it really vibes with like the stickers because it does feel more like bullet journal-y, and the stickers feel a little fancier. So I'm not sure how well I pulled it off, but I do like how it looks. I think it's pretty cool. So now I'm going in and drawing just a single line because I want to write in the habits themselves on top of that, but I didn't want it to just be like plain white background because I can't have anything plain in my spreads, so y'all know. And now I'm filling in the empty space with alcohol ink, and then I'm gonna put some other stuff on top of it to put habits. We'll also be adding habit tracker to our next functional release as a label, so keep that in mind when you give your suggestions. Yeah, I'm very curious to see like what kind of stuff y'all track or not track, but like what you label your pages with. I don't know if there's a better word for that, but like we call them journaling labels. But I want to like moving forward I could see myself like using this kind of setup for my decorative spreads even. Like if I set this up at the beginning of the month and then did like weekly spreads after that, um, I could see that replacing memory planning for me. So just something I'm thinking about, especially since it's planner season and we're all trying to figure out what we're going to be doing planner wise next year, like what planners we're buying, what we want to focus on. So yeah, just planner thoughts. We all know how that goes. But yeah, I'm curious, like what you guys, if you journal like this, what do you focus on tracking? What do you focus on um, writing down every day? How often do you like visit your journal? I've been trying to do mine every day because obviously there's like habits and highlights that I want to be tracking every day, but realistically, I'm not that great at keeping up with it. So for me, it's ended up being more like every other day or every 3 days. I go in, look at my daily spreads to see like what a highlight was from that day and then write that in. And then I'm pretty good about remembering if I achieved my habits or not. But I know that kind of defeats the purpose of a habit tracker. So I want to be better and do it every day, but I'm not there yet. I think it's about building routines, which is part of why I'm doing these habit trackers in the first place. But yeah, just curious what you guys are thinking about these kind of spreads. Like, if you want to try this, but you're more of like a memory planner, just yeah, give me all your thoughts below. Very, very curious. I just think everyone's kind of like shifting their styles right now. Well, not everyone, but like as a community, it seems like we're all kind of shifting more towards decorative spreads like this and less on like the very cookie cutter, like weekly spreads with all 9 full boxes and such. Because even in my weekly spreads, I feel like I've been getting a lot more decorative. Like I've been doing a lot of horizontal sidebars and um, not keeping things to the columns. So it's feeling like a natural progression of sorts. Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. Sorry, y'all. It's been a long journey to get to this point. Um, but I would love to hear y'all's thoughts because, like I said earlier, like we started out as a memory planner shop, but like I'm just wondering, is everybody still on that train or are we kind of like shifting our focus to more like creative endeavors? Not that, memory spreads aren't creative endeavors, but you know what I mean, more freeform stuff. Okay, enough rambling about that. Now back to what I'm actually doing on the page. I'm setting up my order tracker for the month. I know I spoke briefly about this in whatever. I've done so many videos on this month's spreads. I don't remember where I said it, but last month in my August setup, I made this size order tracker, and I spaced it every other line, so it's not like every single line was taken up by orders, but I feel like something about like having that many spaces for orders enabled me to make that many orders, which is not great because I'm balling on a budget and I threw that budget out the window last month. And so even though I have the spaces, I'm trying to recognize that I don't need to fill them all with orders. So I'm not doing great so far because there's been so many great sticker sales this month already, and it's not even like a third of the way through the month. So I feel like I might end up having to take like an Instagram break because there's like people out there like Cassie, I'm talking about you again, who are just so talented at enabling sticker purchases. So like even if I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get that. I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna be good. I see Cassie hauling it and talking about it, and I'm like, I do need that in my life. So I blame you, Cassie, for all of my sticker purchases this month. Yeah, but I mean, it is also my hobby, so it's a fine line balancing finding joy in your hobby and prioritizing it and being okay with spending it on it because everybody has hobbies that they spend money on. But there's a certain point where you're like, it's stickers, I need to calm down. There's no way I can even get through all of these stickers. But you know what? I'm having a good time. So that's where I land, at least for now. We'll see at the end of the month when bills are due, but that's fine. Right now I'm laying down this one little box. I didn't have enough room to put down the social media script that you see here. I guess I could have put it on top of like the bridge and the pumpkins, but I didn't want to like block that scene. So I just put down the icons that are also on the sampler, and called that good enough because I know it's my social media tracker area and I don't need a lot of space for it. So I didn't feel the need to label it, but yeah, that's where that went. Um, I think in my August setup I had more room for it, but I prioritized doing the order tracker here. So okay, so now I'm moving on to the last page of this spread. I only created one journaling spread page, whereas last month I did two, I think. But I didn't want to like overcommit, and I also didn't want this video to be like hours long. So for now, I just have one spread for journaling, but I'll likely do another one. I probably won't film it, but um, I struggle with deciding how much to decorate these kind of pages because I don't want it to limit me from journaling if I feel like it, if the page isn't decorated, if that makes any sense. Like, obviously, I want some decorations on the page, just so it, like, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? It encourages me to actually write on it because otherwise I probably wouldn't. But I also don't want to overcommit and decorate too many pages and then not feel like journaling, and then I have all these empty pages that are decorated. So I'm still finding that balance. I did end up using all like 4 pages for my journaling last month, but um, I just don't want it to limit me at all, if that makes sense. So for now, it's just the one. And I had something in mind for this setup because at this point, maybe next month I'll be better, but at this point, it was already like September 1st or 2nd when I was doing this page. So I was like, I gotta just get this done so I can actually use it. But on the 1st, we went apple picking with Kelby's mom. And so I wanted to use this page to kind of journal about that. And I had also like intentionally saved some ephemera from like the place, the farm that we went to, um, and another like state park we went to, that I wanted to try and incorporate that or try and incorporate into the spread somehow. Just because like I used to like journal a lot like this, like kind of junk journaling in college. And I would save stickers and receipts and movie stubs and stuff like that, and I would like actually like paste them into my journal. I never say paste. I don't know why I said that. I would like incorporate them into spreads so that I could look back and remember like what I was doing in college and stuff. So I did that a lot back in the day, and I really like that because it's like, I mean, that's the definition of ephemera. It's like the little bits from your life that you find trivial at the time, but like looking back, it's really like that's the stuff you remember. Right now, you see me, I'm pulling out another envelope from Sterling Ink. That's what I used on the first page of this month's setup. But I wanted to use another one to put the ephemera into. Like I was saying, in the future, I want to try and incorporate it like actually more on the page so it's not just tucked away and you could actually see it. But for this month, I didn't want to commit to like taking up that much space on the page with that. So I just put the park pass from the state park and then a sticker from the farm we went to into the pocket. And like I've mentioned I think it was my Instagram flip through of the spread is where I talked about it, but I love pop-up books. So this kind of stuff that's like interactive it just brings me so much joy. So um, I really enjoyed pulling that into this spread. This specific setup, like doing these stickers on top of it, was a labor of love for sure. Because I first had to decide where the actual envelope was going to go, and then I had to be kind of intentional about where I put all the stickers because I wanted this lady I'm fussing with fussing with right now. I wanted her head to act as kind of a like flap or like a I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like to guard the flap of the envelope from staying open. So you saw me layer her on top of sticker paper so that I could cut around that one part of her head because that's the part that's going to keep the flap down. um, it sounds so weird to talk about it like that, but it's a sticker. It's not an actual person. But yeah, it was just a lot of brain power to decide how to do that. Because at first I was going to use something else as like just like a pumpkin sticker or something to do that. But then it made sense to put a fashion doll in front of this scene um, to make it feel like someone was actually like picking out their pumpkin or something. Um, yeah, I'm going into way too much detail about that. But I'm layering another floral behind the envelope just to kind of fill that space so it's not just the plaid. And then now I'm putting the lady down. I will say I don't know if I'll do this again because I feel like the integrity of her head will decrease over time the more I like open the envelope. So I don't know. There's probably a better way to do this, but it works for now. I also just realized that I put her down a little too far to the left because you can't really see the jack-o'-lantern in her hands. So I moved her over. It's a little bit better. And now I'm putting a final pumpkin down. And I think that pretty much concludes this spread. Yep, here's the overview shots. Nice and aesthetic. So I will stop talking now because I've been yammering on and on. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you're not already subscribed. And please give me your feedback in the comments because I'm very curious. But yeah, I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.